From my very amateurish reading of some algebraic geometry, which really I learned a little, but not that much. It's got so many prerequisites that it's so far in the future for me. I did come out with this reference, and I think it's a great book. Actually, I was going to show a nice tie-in to my adult coloring hobby, because reading this book, I got home and my mind actually changed in some way. I don't know why it happened, but it happened. So I've been designing my own mandalas, and the mandala that I have been working on the day before was this one. But then after reading in Weyl's description of the early days of analysis and how topology was being used, this is what I came up with. So that gives you an idea of how my mind was affected by reading this book. So I'm going to show a little bit about the book. I think it's a great book for somebody who has already had some complex analysis, especially power series in complex analysis with negative exponents. As always, I'll pause slightly a little bit in the preface so you can pause it and read the whole page at your own leisure. Yeah, he links to Dirichlet's Principal Conformal Mapping and Minimal Surfaces book, which I have, which is also way above my head. Someday I'd like to talk about that book, but right now, I mean, I don't know, I'm just not ready. So everything about Riemann surfaces, but it's really historical, really goes into detail about how all these theories came about, a lot of Weierstrass. Of course, the notation is a little archaic, but still, I found it readable yet painful, because I would have to be back into complex analysis mode and power series mode. And even though I was reading it on the Metro, that was a mistake, because this is not the kind of book that I need to read on the Metro. It is definitely not introductory reading in any way whatsoever. It's the kind of thing that I would want to read very carefully, with notes, with other books, constantly referencing other books to what they say about this material. Of course, this is highly original, and yeah, it'll be a great read for some other day. But definitely, if you want to understand how Riemann surfaces came about, like all the work that went around it before and during and after, I think this is your book. Yeah. So it goes into a two-dimensional manifold. It goes on surfaces. Yeah. It's got some really good figures. Lots of integrals, which I love. I think when somebody tries to explain to me things in an integral, I feel home. Versus a lot of the modern lingo is all about topology, which is fine, but I don't know. Topology always has that hand-waving thing around it, about it, whereas when you put in equations, to me at least, I feel home. That's just me. Maybe it's an ignorant perspective, but that's how I feel. But yeah, this definitely is a book that will be really good for somebody. For myself, I'll speak about myself. I think if I'm in the middle of a differential geometry love fest, compounded with a lot of work on complex analysis, this would be a great book to have a read from while I'm covering that material, with problems, with examples, with proofs. Yeah, there's a lot of power series content in here. Yeah. So yeah, I think I went through the table of contents. I mentioned, yeah, what I wanted to mention about the book. Yeah, a little bit of a hard read, as it always is the case with some of these older Dover books, but definitely spoken by a master, and I think definitely worth a read someday for me. Absolutely. It's really, I think it's based on lecture notes. It doesn't have any answers to problems. It doesn't have any problems, actually. So it's not really heavy on examples, but yeah, I still think it's a great read with proper tools attached.